shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who is fearless. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause in a world of reckless automobiles. These are my motovlogs.
How's everybody doing? What's going on, everybody? You guys are live with Caliente. We're going to do it live tonight in the Caliente garage. How's everybody doing? See, we got a lot of people on tonight. Robert Easter is on. Howard Moses is watching. Dara Brubaker. Can y'all guys hear me okay? What you say, Adrian Johnson? You rapping now, Chris? When is your album drops? That's a very good question. I'm not gonna be. I'm just. Yeah, that's a little bit better there. Yeah, I'm just vibing, y'all. Just trying to hype up a little bit. Doing it live here in the Caliente garage. What's up, Anthony Crookhaven from Houston? LNC. What's going on, everybody? I saw you there, Lady Love. Is everybody doing okay tonight? Throat is a little bit scratched. I got me a little hot tea. The first lady made me some hot tea. Well, I see you there, Teaspoon. We're doing it live in the Caliente garage, y'all. I know it's been a minute since I've been out here in the garage. I just wanted to do something a little bit different tonight. Kind of talk about a couple things. You guys know I love that 50 Cent song. But speaking of that, did y'all see the episode last night of Power? I actually missed it. So I'm just wondering if any of you guys that are watching this Caliente live, my question is, who shot Ghost? Because I didn't see it. I actually missed the show. I was tied up and came in from a long road trip and just I forgot to look at the show Power. I love that show, man. I've been watching it here lately, trying to get into it. I'm behind. So have any of you guys been watching the show Power? And if so, who shot Ghost? Because I think it was supposed to air it last night on Who Shot Ghost. I don't know if you guys actually saw it. Did anybody actually see it? Oh, Teaspoon said he'll be right back. Somebody said they watched one episode. Lady Love, did you see Power? And if so, who shot Ghost? I guess I'll find the episode on TV eventually. I'm sure somebody actually recorded it. But if you guys find out who shot Ghost, or if they aired it last night, let me know, because I'm just curious. I've been trying to catch up with that show Power. But anyway, yeah, we're just doing it live here in the Caliente garage. Tonight, I kind of want to talk about Wingding. I want to kind of bounce around a little bit. Talk about Wingding. Is anybody going to Wingding this year? I'm going to be opening up the phone lines in a little bit. I don't want to open them up right now, but we're going to open them up in a little bit. I'll tell you guys when to call in if you want to comment on this topic. Basically, I just kind of wanted to talk about Wingding and maybe even talk about a little bit of dark siding. I know we got a lot of dark siders in the group that is watching this Caliente live. But Wingding is generally in the month of August, right around the time when school actually starts, around school time. So a lot of you guys can't actually go to Wingding because of the week that it actually that they have it. You know, last year it was in Nashville. The year prior to that it was in Knoxville. 2020 it's supposed to be in Springfield for the next Wingding. I think it's Wingding 42. But anyway, is any of you guys going that are planning to go to Wingding this year? And if so, they actually moved the dates from Wingding the end of August to, I think it's 4th of July weekend. Does anybody have those dates for Wingding? I think it's the week of the 4th. It's the week of the 4th for the next Wingding. Adrian Johnson said he's from Knoxville. I see you there, Adrian Johnson. The next Wingding is supposed to be, I think it's 4th of July week. If somebody want to give me those dates, be sure to put that in the comments there. But I've been hearing a lot of bikers saying that they're not sure that they're going to make it out to Wingding this year. Simple fact, because they actually moved the dates from August back to July. Now, over the last several years since I've been going, it's always been at the end of August, or right around the time when school actually starts. But for some reason or another, they actually moved it to 4th of July week. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be with family and friends. A lot of you will be out of town. And so I'm just wondering, am I the only one, or is that a bad week for you guys as well? For me personally, that's kind of a bad week for Wingding, having it right around the 4th of July. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to make it to Wingding this year. So if any of you guys are coming to Wingding thinking that you're going to get a chance to meet me, I'm not sure if I'm even going or not. I'm going to make a last minute decision whether I'm going to Wingding or not. But is that week bad for you guys as well, or am I the only one that's been feeling like that? Do you think that they should have changed the dates for Wingding? Should they have left it at the end of August, around the time they generally have it? Now, I'm not sure about many years back, but I know in the last few years that I've been going, it's always been at the end of August. So do you guys feel like since they moved the dates from August and pushed it back to 4th of July weekend, is that a bad date for you guys? So will you be attending Wingding this year as well? Have you made your reservations? If so, where will you be staying? How long do you plan on being there? Or are you even going? And if you're going, are you riding your bike? Are you trailering your bike? And where will you be riding from? So for you guys out there that's actually going to Wingding, where are you riding from? I'm here in Memphis. So I've been through Springfield many times, going to visit family up there in Salina, Kansas. So I've been through there many times, just south of Kansas City. But where will you guys be riding from? Would you be riding from Memphis? Will you be trailering your bikes from where you live? So I'm just curious, but is that a bad week for you guys? Wingding, putting it around the 4th of July. And I'm just kind of I'm reading I'm kind of multitasking. So I'm kind of reading some of your comments here and you're just trying to get a feel of what you guys are saying. Alan Boone said they moved it to the end of August a few years ago. That's what Alan Boone said. How you doing, Jarvis Biker? I see you. I see you there, Slappy, Marvis, Adrian Johnson. Adrian Johnson said that's his anniversary weekend, my wife's wedding anniversary. So, Adrian, are you planning on going to Wingding, or are you going to sit this one out because of the anniversary? Jason Brown said he's off Friday and Saturday of Wingding. So I'm assuming Jason's saying he's going to be going 2 days. Adrian Johnson said, I would say never have a major gathering this big of a major summer holiday. Kirk Carl said, what's up, Chris? Jason Matrix is watching. And also, do you guys feel like doing 4th of July? Because for a lot of African Americans, that's around the time that we're with our families that I know of. 4th of July is kind of big. A lot of us like to get together and barbecue and sit around the house and hang out with family and friends during that time of July. Do you guys think that that's a bad time for African Americans, 4th of July week? And if so, what do you guys think? That's family time for me around the 4th of July week. I know we generally get together and barbecue, and I hang out with my family during 4th of July week. So again, I'm not gonna make any promises or whether or not I'm going to Wingding, but I'll be keeping you guys posted What's up, Kurt? Coulon is watching. That's a unique name. What's up, Kurt? I see you guys are on live with Caliente, doing it live from the Caliente garage. Teaspoon said it's a bad time for everyone. I hear that, Teaspoon. Would you say it's a bad time for everyone? Yeah, that's kind of a bad time for a lot of people. A lot of bikers that I actually talked to said it's a bad time having Wingding right around 4th of July week. I know a lot of African Americans, man, we're at the cookouts and we hang out with family around 4th of July. So, I don't know, but it just may be a bad time for everybody. It may not matter if you're, African American or not. It just may be a bad time for that particular part of the year. Chester Williams, Troubleshooter. What's going on, Troubleshooter? Troubleshooter said Chris will be in Germantown this weekend. 4th of July will be in Atlanta with his family reunion. See, that's what I'm saying. Chester saying he's going to be at a 4th. If I'm reading this correctly, Chester is saying that he's going to be in Atlanta for a family reunion around that time. And that's my point. Is that a bad weekend for African Americans? Is it bad for everybody? It just seems like to have it around 4th of July weekend is just kind of a bad time. Chester says slow motion. Kurt Carl said that's true. So I don't know, man. You guys are on live with Caliente. We're just doing it live in the Caliente garage. Just come in off a road trip. Been out to Texas. Hanging out with Brother Cowboy and Sister Sue. Congratulating her on getting her trike. So just had a good time out there in Texas. Made an impromptu, unplanned ride out to Texas, man. I just enjoyed it. I liked it because one thing I like about Texas, they have good weather. So lots of times in certain parts of the country, it may be cold, but man, Texas, it stays warm. But in the summertime, it's just too hot. But anyway, we're going to be opening up the phone lines. If you guys want to call in live on the Caliente show, if you guys have anything that you would like to say to your boy Chris, the phone line is open. 901-468-9032. If any of you guys would like to call in and talk to your boy Chris live, the phone line is open. Also, I've been looking at the news here lately, and it's just sad kind of what happened to Kobe Bryant, man. It seems like after the helicopter went down, it's like the mood of the country just kind of went kind of subdued, man. I just kind of hate that happened. Even though I'm not a real big basketball fan, I know that affected a lot of people. So I think, a lot of people are kind of now getting back to a little bit of normalcy. But that was just a tragic situation, kind of what happened to Kobe. David Catch is watching. He says, glad you had a safe trip there and back. What's up, Chris? This is Catch. I see you there, Catch. Troubleshooter said, don't like Texas. Fort Hood broke me. Colleen. Where my anti-darksiders at? We got any anti-darksiders watching Caliente live? Where you at, Greg Patterson? Where's Greg Patterson at tonight? I sent Greg a message. I told him I would be on live after 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time tonight. I'm hoping that he call in. I would like to just ask him some questions, and he may ask some questions that he would like to ask me. Where are you, Greg Patterson? If you guys know Greg Patterson, tell him Caliente is waiting to hear from him. I would like to entertain anything that he has to say, because I know he's one of the biggest anti-darksiders in the group. There may be a couple of more in there, but I just like to kind of talk. I never talked to Greg Patterson. I'm just curious what he has to say. But the phone lines are open if you guys would like to call in. Anything you would like to say to your boy Chris. Now is the time. 901-468-9032. So here lately, I just been sitting back watching YouTube. Haven't been making many videos. Just been observing and watching. Sometimes it's good to be entertained, and a lot of times I'll just turn on YouTube and just watch and kind of see what's going on there, and just watching other motor vloggers, seeing what they're talking about, seeing who's riding. I know this year, it's still wintertime, so a lot of people are actually not riding. A lot of people have put their bikes up. So I guess this time of year, a lot of people are not really into the biking set, for some reason or another. I just hadn't been in a very big mood to make videos. Just been sitting back watching, looking at some of your guys' videos, watching other motor vloggers, just watching a lot of YouTube, seeing what everybody else is doing this time of year. What's going on, Johnny Cobbs? Now, Johnny Cobbs says Tariq shot Ghost. Are you serious? Go ahead, caller. You on live with Caliente.
Hello, Chris. How you doing, compadre?
Hey, what's going on? You on?
Oh, not much. Just hanging out, watching you.
Okay. Well, I'm live in the Caliente garage. Hadn't been making many videos. Just been watching a lot of YouTube and just relaxing, just enjoying myself. Been out on the road, been down to Texas, and just been relaxing. What's been going on your end?
Oh, just hanging out, just keeping warm. Trying to keep the cool weather out of the room. Just hanging out. Just hanging out.
And now, who is this? Daryl Brubaker?
Yes, it is.
How
it's
you
me.
doing, Daryl? I figured that was you. Hey, Daryl, hey, Daryl, where are you located? Are you in Texas?
Yes, sir. I'm in Denison, Texas.
How far?
By the river.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that. How far is that from Dallas?
It's 70 miles north of Dallas on Highway 75.
Okay.
We're almost at the Oklahoma border.
Okay, so you're at the top side. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I didn't come that direction. I came actually down 30 from Little Rock. Came kind of headed in that direction. So.
Yes, sir.
But it was a unplanned ride, just spur of the moment. A lot of times I'll just get up and ride, man. I don't really need a reason to ride. Daryl, I never understand why these going guys buy these expensive motorcycles and won't even ride them. I don't get it. The only thing that keeps me from riding as much is the first lady. Now, I understand people got wives and people work jobs and stuff like that, but why would you buy a $25,000 motorcycle and just let it sit in the garage? I mean, I don't understand it.
I don't either.
You might as well just sell it. You might as well just sell it, because the bike it depreciates every year. Just the fact that you're letting it sit there. So, but
yeah, I know.
I just never understood why a guy would buy a big touring motorcycle and let it sit in the garage, or why would you buy a big touring motorcycle and trailer it everywhere you go? I mean, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? That the point of buying a touring motorcycle is to tour. But, I mean, it to each his own. Some people have health conditions. Some people have financial conditions, and everybody kind of have different situations. So, it just all depends on the rider. But I just don't understand, why would you buy an expensive motorcycle and trailer it everywhere you go? I guess it's a status symbol. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some of you guys can enlighten my territory, because I don't understand. Broaden my horizon. Why would you buy an expensive touring motorcycle and you won't even ride? I know guys that won't even ride across the state lines.
My goodness.
I mean, you're riding on the most luxurious motorcycle in the world.
Yeah.
And you won't even leave your neighborhood. I mean, you won't even leave your city. I mean, why is that?
I don't know. Oh, we've been all around the Four Corners States area. We've been to Arkansas, Oklahoma, and just riding around this in Oklahoma and Texas and Arkansas so far. And we've been to Colorado on retirement. and we went up there on our my wife's 50th anniversary for her class for her school, and we plan on going to Missouri in the summer. Sometimes with it being us close to the line, Oklahoma line, it gets real cold up here,
right?
And stuff, and so it's hard. It's kind of hard to really schedule a good ride. Well, the time we get out is if it's nice weather, between 60 and 65, we get out and ride, and when the sun comes out, and plus we're also on a fixed income with me being retired, yeah, I love to ride that. I love to ride, and I wish I could ride a lot more than what I do. But like I say, I don't see why anybody would want a trailer, a nice bike like a Goldwing or even a Harley. There's some of them that goes to South Dakota, and they trailer it instead of ride it. I'm like you. I don't understand it either. If I was going to go to South Dakota and to that deal up there in South Dakota,
right.
I would like to ride. Because I love riding. This is our first bike ever, and in all of our life, we never thought that 50 years ago when we got married that we'd have a gold wing bike. And my brother-in-law, my wife's nephew, had a gold wing, and he was a two-wheeler. Okay. And he sort of got us into thinking about getting a gold wing. And then we started looking around and checking out places where they make gold wing trikes. And as small as I am, I can't really hold up Dixie and the bike too.
Right.
I would say this is our first bike ever. I tried riding a trail bike years ago, back in the early 70s.
Stand by, Slappy. Stand by, Slappy. Go ahead, Daryl. Stand by, Slappy.
Okay. I tried to ride a trail bike back in the 70s when I was in the military in Montana, and that didn't work out too good. I messed up and hurt my leg. But anyway, and then the first time I went to a Wingding was in Gainesville, Texas, with my nephew, and that was the first time I've ever been to a Wingding of that magnitude.
Stand by, Slappy.
Like I say, I like being around people. I like riding the gold wing.
Okay.
I like riding. It's fun.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, Daryl, man, for calling in and just kind of commenting on the topic. We just kind of bouncing around. We're talking about Who Shot Ghost. We're talking about Wingding. We can even talk about some dog riding. But the question was, why do you guys have an expensive motorcycle, a $30,000 bike, a $25,000 bike, and won't even leave your neighborhood? What's up with that? I don't get it. But I appreciate you calling, Daryl. And we're going to try to give another caller the opportunity to call in.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you, Daryl.
I appreciate it, partner.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, Daryl. Go ahead. Caller number 2. You're on live with Caliente. What's going on, Slap Dog?
Said I can't call. I'm out here making these 18 wheels turn. You hear me?
You making that big money.
Oh, hey, I'm trying to make them nickels rub together.
Trying to rub a couple nickels together, huh?
Hey, back to what you talking about. I tell people all the time, my bike don't go on a trailer. They pull a trailer.
Right. Well, Slap, I know you're one of the few guys I know that ride as many miles, yearly. Now, I know you're a truck driver and you put a lot of miles in on a truck. And, I've learned that most Goldwing riders are truckers. So when you come off the road, you already doing, depending on your job, you may do 3,000 miles a week, 4,000 miles a week. You may do 5,000 miles a week, depending on your job. So for truck drivers, it's really tough. But I know Slappy is one of the few guys that he comes off the road and gets on his wing and he's up to strike out and ride anywhere in America on a car tire. So I commend you, Slappy, for just, your old saying goes, shut up and ride. And I like how you do it. I like how you put it down.
Man, I sure appreciate it. Yeah, shut up and ride. I mean, driving these trucks for 30 years, I've got to see a lot of the country, but never got a chance to kind of smell the roses because I'm driving the truck and I'm just shooting by everything.
Right.
The Gold Wing, now I get to, stop in Mount Rushmore and go to the Badlands and all these different places that you done read about in the history books and that you done pass through in that big truck. I get to do it now with that, riding these bikes, man. It's an expensive hobby, and I love it. I ain't, like you said, $25,000. I used to ride to Myrtle Beach every year for Bike Week. I said, ain't no way in the world I spent that kind of money just running down Myrtle, trying to run to Myrtle Beach every day I'm made.
Right.
We gonna stretch it out there and put it to the test, but I put 35,000 miles on the car tire, and before it got real, with you kind of bringing it out there the way you have.
Right.
We was doing it, but it wasn't real popular. It was just something that was done, but nobody talked about it that much,
That's correct. That's correct.
And I put a whole bunch of now I wouldn't double dark side until this year, and I loved it too. But now I've been dark siding for a better part of 4 years now, and that ain't my uncle's done it on KZs and all the old bikes. They done it back in. So shut up and ride. Let's get after it.
Hey, Slap It. While I got you on the line, let me ask you something. Now we've talked about this story before, but share this with the people that's actually watching this video, the live feed here and live in the Caliente Garage. The phone line is lit up. Y'all stand by. But Slap It, we've had this conversation and we talked about. Now you was telling me about you had a motorcycle tire on your bike, and you was coming back from out of town. Now, kind of give me tell the viewers kind of what happened to you. You had a passenger on the bike. You was coming back from out of town on a regular motorcycle tire.
Right, come back on a regular motorcycle tire. I got a 2012, so the Bridgestone came on it, so that's what I ran. So I had I'm two up,
right,
pulling the trailer, coming back from Thunder Beach. Yeah, all the way back, about 100 miles in Chattanooga. Didn't have but about 3,000 miles on the tire. It just blowed out. And it put me dead in the water. It was just enough for me to hear it pop and to hear the TPI came on for a brief second,
right,
and then went to shimmying.
Right.
So I hit the shoulder, kept it up, got off the road, but it was done. I couldn't limp it to limp it to an exit.
Right.
I couldn't take it nowhere. I was just done. So that's when I decided to go with the dark side, because I'm two up, pulling the trailer on the tire that's only got 3,000 miles. That's not good.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not good. So I wanted to try that car tire out because I know people that has done it, and ever since then I've had no problems whatsoever.
Right.
And I've been to California all the way up to Oregon. We did 8,000 miles, and on that 8,000 mile trip, we had a couple of guys that had a couple of thousand miles on a motorcycle tire, had to go find tires before they even made it back home.
Right.
Because they couldn't put those kind of miles on a motorcycle tire, how we was riding. So in between the trip, they had to take them shut down for a whole day. And I always said they got their head knocked off, but they had to pay out of the nose, because once you got to get a tire on the road and they know that you in need,
right,
they're going to stick it to you.
That's why they call it highway robbery.
Highway robbery. Boy, they stuck it to them too.
Now, Slap It. Now, how many states have you covered on a dark side tire? How many just total states you think you've covered?
I've been over all 48 and Canada.
On a car tire.
On the car tire.
Now, Slap It, you got more dark side experience than I have. Now, I pretty much covered the Eastern Seaboard, but you done covered pretty much all of America. And
oh yeah.
So, what would you say to anybody out there that says dark siding is not safe?
Well, if you got a show bike and you're not riding, if you just want to, chase parades and shows, run your motorcycle tire. But if you out there really getting after it, and most of it's straight lining, two up, pulling the trailer, and you want to get some longevity out of your tires, that's about the only way to go. It's really not even a discussion to me. That's the only way to go, because it's a touring bike. It's not a show bike. You can do what you want to with your bike.
Right.
But when you get on that bike and you got in your mind, you get ready to knock out 6,000 miles, 7,000 miles, or even 3,000 miles, you know, the car tire is about the only way to go if you're riding. If you're not riding, you're just going to be, you know, trailer queen, like you said, or
Right.
chasing parades and
Doing a
chasing,
mannequin challenge.
bike rallies. You know, that's for a motorcycle.
Right. Everybody don't need the dark side. It's not for everybody. And that's what kind of gets me. And I watch these guys, I look at some of these videos and some of the guys that, you know, a lot of the guys that's running their mouth never even tried it, or they're going by what they think may happen. You know, they'll bring up, you know, they'll talk themselves out of it. Well, will my insurance company cover me? And I heard you can't take curves very well. And, you know, if you're afraid of it and you don't understand it, don't do it. You know, that's just as simple as that. But in my personal opinion, being on the dark side for the last few years, I love it. And I haven't had no problems. I actually feel more safer on the dark side tire. You know, it stops faster. It's got a wider footprint. It channels more water. It got more rubber on the tire. It's more comfortable. It's just all around. It lasts longer. It's cheaper. I mean, there's so many benefits to running a car tire. It's unbelievable. Now, if I had a crotch rocket, no, I wouldn't run a car tire on a crotch rocket. But on a touring motorcycle where you're mostly riding straight up and down, that's the only way to go. And that's my personal opinion. But the debate is dead. The debate has been put to rest. And, you know, there's nothing else really to prove. I mean, you know, before I started putting it out there, I mean, it was not something that I came up with. It's just something that just wasn't really talked about. It wasn't, it seemed like it was just a few people was doing it quietly, and nobody was actually putting it out there. And I put it on my bike and I put the videos out there, and I brought a lot of attention to it. Now, when you turn on YouTube, man, you see nothing but dark side videos. I mean, there were a few dark side videos, you know, but now it's just like everywhere you turn, there's a dark side vid. So in my personal opinion, don't knock it until you try it, but it's safe. Regardless of what the experts may say, they can draw up all these graphs and try to tell you that the lock and the bead don't go with the rim, and it don't seat properly, and taking curves and riding up. When they get through talking, it works. You've been doing it across 48 states. I've been doing it across the Eastern Seaboard. And, you know, in my opinion, and like you expressed, it's safe.
Yeah, and I like to say, when you talk about the riders, I'm an old sport bike guy.
Right.
All we did was ride sport bikes for years and years. I know you seen that picture I put on Facebook.
I saw it. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty neat.
A lot of sport bike guys, and I live right in the Alcoa, Tennessee, so I'm right by the Dragon. So when people talk about you can't do this and that, I rode my Gold Wing on the dark side, pulling the trailer up and down that Dragon at least 5 or 6 times a year. I take tours up there when people come in town. They want to go, you know, let's go up there. But, you know, being an old sport bike guy, the Gold Wing has that still kind of a real nimble feel where I can throw it around in curves. You know, we don't have the pep as a sport bike, but it definitely, you can handle it and knock it around in those sport bike curves. I've got an M109, and it's like a pig, you know, going through there with that big old 260 tire on the back.
Right.
You know, it just don't have the handling as the Going. So on long trips, you know, if you have to go up we went to Beartooth Pass. I mean, it was like a daggum Dragon for like 150 miles.
Right.
With switchbacks and all that. Excuse me. The car tire handle it. You know, it does the straight lines, it does the curves. You know, so. And I live by the Dragon, so it ain't like you can't do curves. I do them well. I mean, I take you up there.
Right, you did. That was my first time actually on the Dragon. You took us up there.
Yeah, we knocked it out, no problem. So,
right.
If people got something to talk about, I say try it. If you want to try it, you know, if you want try it, see if you like it. If you don't do it. You know, so shut up, try it.
Yeah, I'm like that too. If you're gonna try, at least put 1,000 miles on it. Don't ride it one block and say, oh, I don't like it. Because when I first tried it, I didn't like it. And I only rode around the block. And JC let me ride his bike. I only rode around the block. I didn't like it. And I came back later, and I had to, you know, put the tires on my bike, because everybody's bike ride differently. They look the same, but everybody's bike handles differently. And put them on there, ride about 1,000 miles. If you don't like it, pull it off. If not, just go with a motorcycle tire. But in the words of Slapper, just shut up and ride. So we're live in the Caliente garage. Slap, I appreciate you calling in, man. We want to give somebody else an opportunity to get on with your boy Caliente live.
I got a good friend of mine, D. Porter.
Yeah.
D. Porter's a little sick right now, and I wanted to let him know that we got him in his prayers.
Okay.
Lift him up. He's a big Caliente fan. He watches all of your videos. He's got 4 motorcycles. I mean, he's motorcycle broke. You know, so he's got them all. He's drag races on that, but he's a big Caliente subscriber on your YouTube channel and everything. But, you know, get well soon, D Porter, Slap Dog, and the rest of us are looking out for you, bro.
Okay, well, we're going to be praying for D Porter out there. Where is he located? Where D Porter located?
L-Town, Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky. So we're going to pray and ask God to heal his body and bring him back to where he is 100% and keep him covered. And we're going to just ask God to just heal his body and just get him back riding.
Amen.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you, Slap. I want to give another caller an opportunity that's on hold. I got a couple of people on hold that want to get on live with Caliente. And we'll be talking.
All right, man. We take
Okay.
that.
Hey, I appreciate you, Slap. We love you, brother.
Okay, you love you too, man.
Okay. All right. And that was old Slap Dog giving us a call, giving his opinion of the dark side, live from the Caliente Garage. We doing this thing live, just giving you guys an opportunity to call in. You may have something you want to say directly to me. Now is the time to do it. A lot of people is tuning in to this video cast, and I appreciate all of you. Appreciate all of you guys. So we're going to go to the phone line and go ahead, caller. You're live with Caliente. Go ahead.
What's going on with Caliente?
What's going on?
JC here.
What's going on, JC? We got JC on the line.
Not a whole lot, man. Is my phone too close to the speaker?
No, you fine. You fine.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, man. Just tuning in to see what's going on there. I heard y'all talking about the dark side. That was Slappy?
Yeah, that was old Slap Dog. Old Slap
The
Dog.
whole Continental 48
Yeah.
in Canada and parts of Canada on the dark side. Man, that is really something there.
Yeah, he said he covered all 48 states, man. And Slappy knows, like I say, he had a passenger on the back coming back from out of town and had a blowout on a motorcycle tire. And that's one thing some people may not understand, that the load rating on a motorcycle tire is not that great. And you have a heavier load rating or heavier weight rating on a car tire. So when you take a big heavy gold wing and put your 300-pound girlfriend on the back, hey, don't be offended if you got a 300-pound woman. you got to sleep with her, not me.
I know one thing I did find is that
What's that?
most people overload. Most people, if you would have just stopped, if they did scales like they did them big trucks, they would find that most people are overloaded on their touring bike.
Correct. Yeah, and you can actually go and look at the tag that's in the back of your trunk. It's a tag. Well, on my bike, on
all of them, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
and
not that much.
Yeah, if you look at that tag in your trunk, it'll tell you what your load weight rating is. And by the time you get to putting your luggage on the back,
gross vehicle and the GVW rating, it's not that much.
If any of you guys are watching this live video cast, if you can, let me know what the load weight rating of a Gold Wing is. It's a tag in your trunk. You can open it up and it's right there. It'll tell you what your weight capacity would be. I don't have it in front of me. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head.
But when you figure the rider and the passenger and all their luggage and both saddlebags and the trunk and all the gas, the full tank of gas, it's really not that much.
Right.
Most people exceed it when they're going on a trip.
Right. Exactly. And that's what I like about the car tire, because the car tire can hold a heavier load.
Oh yeah.
That's why you never hear a motorcyclist say they had a blowout on a car tire. If they did, the tire was underinflated, it was old and dry rotted, or they just wasn't properly maintaining it. Maybe it was slick or it was a cheap tire. But 99% of the time, if you got a responsible rider that's checking his tire pressure, he's not letting it become slick. He's never going to have a blowout on that tire. But you will have a blowout on a motorcycle tire, I can almost assure you.
Yeah, it could take you out. It could take you out. I know when I first started riding, the guys in the shop said, they said a rear blowout is bad, but a front blowout, you probably can't hold it up.
Yeah, that would be
So you're probably going to go down.
And I was hoping I was hoping that we'll get Greg Patterson to call in. So Greg Patterson, if you are watching this live video cast, call now, 901-468-9032. I would love to have a word with Greg Patterson. If anybody knows Greg Patterson, call him and tell him Caliente is looking for him.
I don't know Greg Patterson. Who is he?
Greg Patterson is one of the guys that's in the group. And he's an anti-dark sider. He says he has a fifth generation. He's been riding fifth generation gold wings or something like that. And okay, Alan Boone says a 2012 max weight capacity is 410 pounds. So
wow,
I guess that's
not much at all.
I guess that's fun. Yeah.
A lot of riders weigh 200.
Excuse me. That's right. So
you know, and if you got a lady friend on the back that weighs 150. That's 350, and it don't leave a whole lot if you got luggage too.
Man, some guys, women weigh 300 pounds, and don't get mad at me for saying that. That's your lady. You got to sleep with her, not me. Some guys like them big, so you know if you take a 300-pound woman and put her on the back, or a 200-pound woman, and the guy weighs about, because the average man nowadays can weigh 200 easily. So a 200-pound man if you take a 200-pound man and a 200-pound woman and your luggage, you already at the max weight. You already maxed out on your weight, your load rating.
Yeah.
So the thing I like about the car tire is that it holds a heavier load, and so when you're talking about even putting a trailer on that, you know that's. You know, you need all of the reinforcements you can get, and that motorcycle tire just is not going to take that abuse. And this is kind of crazy, but if you think about it like this here, and this is not logical, but it makes sense. If you was going to take your car, would you put motorcycle tires on your car? You wouldn't, because you wouldn't even fathom doing something like that. But you would take a motorcycle and put car tires on it. So why wouldn't you not put a motorcycle tire on a car? I mean, it's not going to fit. I mean, we know it's not going to fit, but just think about that. You wouldn't want that skinny tire with a minimum load rating on your car. But you would trust a car tire on your motorcycle. So that right there would tell you something. That's not logical, because no one can actually do that. I mean, you could, but that's not really logical. But if you think about it, you would trust, in other words, you're trusting a car tire over a motorcycle tire. That's right. My whole point.
Right.
So hopefully, I hope that Greg Patterson is watching. And I mentioned his name about 5 or 6 times, because I would like for Greg to call in. I would just like to say hello to him and just talk to him. I was just reading some comments here.
A lot of people are against... Some people still, there's always going to be people who are going to be against the tire on the bike. But a lot of people are still scared. I've never seen anybody try it and then say they don't like it. So,
and that's true.
Especially on these trips. And speaking of trips, how many people are going to Wingding? What is it, Wingding 42, I believe?
Yeah, and I raised that question earlier about how many people are actually going to go to Wingding. For me, that's kind of a bad time, because that's around family time. But now let me ask you, JC, is that the week of 4th of July? Is that a good week for you?
I'm headed there. I'm going. I'm already reserved. Yeah.
Okay, so you are going.
I'll be there.
Okay. Yeah.
The last week in June.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering, because I know some people say it's just bad timing for them, and it's actually bad timing for me as well. Yeah.
It's actually good timing for me. There's nothing wrong with the last week in August. It's just so hot. Mm-hmm. I'm glad to have it a different time of the year.
Right.
Just reunions or people going on there with me. But, Lord willing, I will be headed up that direction. And I'm going up there twice, because I'm going to go to the Can-Am Spider Fest, too, just to look around. And I got some friends that have spiders.
Okay.
So I want to go there. But, yeah, it's in the same place as the Gold Wing, so it'd be really nice to go there.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of Spider Fest. I've never been there, but I guess there's a lot of spider owners out there.
Yeah,
They have a
yeah,
Spider Fest, so if you guys have been to Spider
yeah,
Fest, let me know what you guys think about it.
yeah. So
So,
yeah, I want to go there and check them both out. And gonna go to electrical connection. Got some time set up there to get some things done to the bike. You know,
right, right.
uh, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
JC, I appreciate you calling in. I want to give someone else the opportunity to call and talk to your boy Chris Caliente live in the Caliente garage. So I
All
appreciate you
right,
calling
Chris,
in there, JC.
have a good one now.
Thank you, man. I will be in touch with you.
Take care.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thanks, JC. All right. Go ahead, caller. You're on live with Caliente. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's known as the Magnolia State. He's known as the mouth of the South. He stands about 5'4". He's riding a 2015 Honda Goldwing with the black bike, the chrome trimming. He has known for the dark side knockouts, weighing in about 29,000 miles on the dark side. He's ready to shut up and ride. He ain't never going back. He has the cutter on the side of his head. And summertime is coming. And all I want to tell you is, let's get ready to rumble. That's coming from the top of the T. SP. Double O-N. What's going on, Caliente World?
I'm gonna ring the bell. I'm gonna ring the bell here in a second. Ding. What's going on? Capital TSP double O-N. You on live with your boy Caliente. We doing it
man,
live in the Caliente garage.
Waving them hands at all them Caliente riders, the Gold Wing riders around the world. Just want to let you know that Teaspoon love you. Gold Wing riders, track riders, Harley riders. We don't care what you ride. Just shut up and ride, cause we ain't never going back. As Brother Cowboy say.
We ain't ever going back. You hear that, Dunlap? I ain't never going back.
Ain't never going back. Yeah.
I appreciate it, man. I know you missing that car tire there, Teaspoon.
Oh man. You better believe it's on order.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I'm thinking about changing my front BT45, even though it don't need it, man. I just like fresh rubber, but my tire still looks new. I put that BT45 on probably over 2 years ago, and it still looks brand new. And I've been riding coast to coast, and it still looks new.
Oh man.
Yeah, it does. And then again, I may keep riding. I don't know. The tires so cheap. But, I noticed, Teaspoon, the prices of the tires has been going up. When I first kind of started the dark side revolution, they was dirt cheap. Now they're slowly easing up. They're slowly creeping up. Again, I didn't start dark side. People in dark side before I was born. But it wasn't really talked about. It was just something swept up under the carpet. It wasn't really publicized. It didn't, it was just something that really people didn't talk about that much, because dark side, it's so sadistic. And I was one of the people that said I wouldn't do it. And I took back what I said, tried the dark side, and I've been riding on it ever since and been putting it out there for you guys. And it has spread it like wildfire, as I predicted. And now every time you turn on the YouTube, somebody got a dark side video. People are talking about the dark side. The tires have increased. And also, Teaspoon, I'm hearing that at Wingding this year, they're going to have a representative from Dunlap. And I think he's going to be giving a seminar on tires. And it's to my understanding, he's going to be telling you guys why you shouldn't be running a car tire. So they're going to have a seminar. And I could be incorrect. And you guys correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody is over Wingding, want to call in and correct me if I'm wrong, or put it down in the comment section below, feel free to do so. But it's to my understanding that Wingding is going to be bringing in a Dunlap representative, and that representative is going to be expressing to you guys the dangers of running a car tire on your bike. So they want you guys to run them motorcycle tires. So Yeah, that's gonna be at Wingding this year, and I could be incorrect, but that's kind of what I've been getting through my sources. So, what do you guys think about that? Dunlap bringing in a representative at Wingding doing a seminar just to express to you guys tire safety and why you shouldn't run car tires and why you should run motorcycle tires. What do you think about that? The phone line is wide open. 901-468-9032. If any of you guys would like to call in and give your opinions on anything that we talked about today. We talked about Who Shot Ghost. We're talking about Wingding, Dark Siding, or anything that you would like to say. Now is the opportunity to call. So what do you think about that, Teaspoon?
You mean to tell me I'm going to ride way up there just to hear somebody tell me about a dark side turn?
That's...
It can save his breath. Greg Patterson giving us enough of that, and I'm not picking at Greg. I love old Greg Patterson to death because he keeps things going, and that's just his opinion. He's being honest about it, just his opinion. But the thing for the representative coming up there trying to lecture, and that's all good. If that's what he want to do to waste his time until he become a gold wing rider, and he may be, and experience it. I mean, I can think of a million things, a million reasons that they can't tell me a good reason why not to, ride on the dark side.
Right.
Nobody has gave me a legitimate reason to stay off of it except that the car tire don't go on a motorcycle.
I
have rode with several things that didn't, it wasn't the original thing to go on whatever it was made for. But it doesn't mean it didn't work. It don't mean that it didn't work. But
right.
To me, y'all can go on and on and on. The debate is over with me. I'm like you. You can't get, I'm about like that car though. You can't give me 20 Cenas. And I'm not talking about Cena like talking about it, but I'm talking about it. I'll take one car over 10 Cenas. Just like I would take 10 car tires over, 10 motorcycle tires over one car tire. I just wouldn't do it.
And you're correct.
I just would not do it.
Let me change the course and come back to what you just said. Speaking of center, I was in Texas over the weekend, and I was riding with Brother Cowboy and Sister Sue. Congratulations on Sue for getting her trike. And they haven't upgraded to the Cardo yet. And man, I promise you, I put on my center helmet, and I connected my center helmet to their center helmet. And let me tell you something, man, the communication was terrible. It was awful. It was, and I actually was going this morning, I was actually going to post some of that video, but the audio was so bad, I didn't even put it up. But I just may just post some of it just to show you guys,
how terrible it is.
How terrible it. Now we finally got it to where it wasn't snapping and crackling. Cause the center, sometimes it'll sound good and then it'll go to snapping, crackling and popping, and it's inconsistent. Sometimes it's fine and sometimes it's not. It's like a crapshoot. It may start out good and then it may go snap, crackle, and pop, or it may start out snap, crackle, and pop and then go to normal. So it's just inconsistent. But I think I may just put some of that video up to show people how bad that center really was performing. But Brother Cowboy was ready and prepared to buy his Cardo, and we went to the website and they was out of stock. So we're gonna try back in a couple of days and see if we can get Brother Cowboy and Sister Sue upgraded to the Cardo. But back to the car tire. Yeah, man, all people can do is tell you that it's bad, that the manufacturers don't recommend it. And, according to the manufacturers, they only recommend you go back with OEM equipment anyway. So it doesn't even matter. I mean, and what people don't realize, every boat on your bike, every boat has a torque spec. And they have what they call the manufacturer's torque specifications. So that means every boat on your bike that came from the dealer should be torqued down at the recommended manufacturer's torque setting. But how many people actually do that? So if you happen to replace any bolt on your bike or you unscrew any bolt, it doesn't matter. Do you go into the book and look at what the manufacturer's torque setting is for that boat? And then do you actually torque it down to that specification? Or do you just tighten it down to what you think would work? And so with that being said, most people, including myself, would just tighten it down to whatever they think will work. So now when you do that, do your bike fall apart, or do your car fall apart? No, it doesn't. The recommendation is what they recommend. Now, just because you don't go back with what they recommend doesn't mean that it's not going to work. That's my whole point. So every car on the road has a manufacturer's torque specification. Every boat that went in that car is torqued down to a specific setting. Every boat. But if you guys happen to take off an alternator, do you go back and say, well, let me tighten it down to the torque specification? When you take off the wheel, do you say, well, let me put the wheel back at the torque specification? When you guys change a light bulb, when you take the light bulbs out, do you put those bolts back to the manufacturer's specification, or do you just tighten it down? And most people can agree with me is you just tighten it down. But it still works. Right. It still works. So that's my whole point about dark side. And just because the manufacturers don't recommend it doesn't mean that it don't work. That's just what they recommend.
Right.
You follow me? Your doctor may say, I recommend you take an aspirin a day to thin your blood, but that don't mean you do it.
Right.
You know, they may say a glass of wine may prevent heart attacks, but do you do it? So, I mean, you know, there are recommendations, but if you don't follow the recommendations, that don't mean that, you know, it's not going to work. That's my whole point.
Well, the thing is, too, man, I mean, I'm not going to try to convince anyone to get on the dark side. But at the same token, I don't need nobody telling me to stay off of it.
That's right.
Because it's like this. If you're not experienced, you haven't experienced that, then you can't tell anybody about it.
That's right.
And then with your experience, nothing happened. You just didn't like the way it feels. Bottom line. I mean, back in the days when you remember, and probably everybody remembers when the guys started putting 20s on their cars, the word got out, oh, you're going to mess up your transmission. You're going to mess up your rear end. So they went to the 22. Oh, you're going to mess up. It ain't called for that. It ain't called for this. But now the manufacturers and dealers, the manufacturers are making them, and the dealers are selling them with 20 and 22s on the cars. So why is that? They got with the program. All they did, they got tired of people overlooking the fact that, okay, man, they're not going to buy these 16s and 15s anymore. The money is where the 20s and 22s at.
Correct.
Just like you said, the car tire is going up. They said, well, we can't get money out of four, so we're going to get money out of one. So they buying more single tires than they buying, regular tires. Shoot, if them tires off my pickup truck will fit on that motorcycle, I'll put them on there when they wear out. I'm telling you.
Man.
But the thing is, the debate, it's kind of, excuse my French, kind of stupid to really even be debating over something that never been, I'm going to call it been discovered.
Right.
Been discovered to the fact that where there has been major accidents on motors, on car tires. Not one incident I heard that happened with a car tire. Not one.
Right.
Not one, but I know plenty of people that had accidents on the motorcycle with the motorcycle tire on it. Now, I ain't saying the motorcycle tire caused it or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, you have yet to hear about anyone talking about the day, experiencing the dangers of a car tire.
That's right.
Nobody has experienced that.
Right.
So the debate is over for me. Whether they have or not, there's still questions. It's just like I went and said, Mama, the dog bit me. The dog bit you. No, the dog didn't bite you. Yes, he did, Mama. What'd you do to him? So you had to do something. So my point is something. You had a rotten tire. You didn't have the right air in it. You had to overinflate it. You done something wrong. Then this guy got on there and said, well, it takes away your maneuvering.
Right, I saw that.
Yeah, you got to maneuver a motorcycle tire the same way you do a bike. I mean, the car tire.
Right.
It just feels funny. It just feels more funnier.
It feels fun if you're not used to it. But he said that running a car tire have a slower, basically, response time for maneuvering in an emergency situation. I beg the difference. I say that if you don't press the brakes fast enough, that's the operator's fault. That has nothing to do with the tire.
That's operator. That's exactly.
That has.
And just like in this big truck, if I don't hit my brakes fast enough or in a timely manner, then I'm gonna hit somebody. That's just bottom line. That's your reaction. It has nothing to do with a car tire, a motorcycle, it has nothing to do with, has nothing to do. It's a stick and move, That's it. You're like boxing. If you're going to sit up there and don't duck when he punch, you're going to get hit.
That's
So
right.
it's your fault. It's just, but I don't know, man. I don't have really a whole lot more to say about the dark side debate when it comes to, when you come to me and tell me or show me the danger, not just on paper, throwing it out or whatever, when you come to an absolute, when I see 3 or 4 people, and God forbid that have an accident because of the car tire, and then, and even then, scientists or experts still can prove that it was the car tire caused it.
That's right.
They
A lot of times it's
so,
what they never.
say shut up and ride. I mean, if you want to run the car tire, run the car tire. You want to run the motorcycle tire. When we leave New York, go to California, I'm not stopping. While you fix a flat on your motorcycle tire, I'm gonna keep going. You know what I'm saying? I'm going on.
That's right.
Because I'm on a schedule. So if you want to do that, then do it. So more be. You want sugar in your Kool-Aid? Put sugar in your Kool-Aid. You want sugar in your tea? Put sugar in your tea. Don't
That's
mess with me because I got sugar standing in the install in my glass.
That's right.
That's going to kill you, teaspoon. Well, I'm going to die tonight because I'm going to break this. But you know what I'm saying, man.
Darryl Brubaker
the moral of
says,
the story is, no matter what you're riding on, whatever, you still have to be safe.
That's
You
right.
got to be safe.
Darryl Brubaker said he put 59,500 miles on his dark side tires.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm reading that correctly.
Easy. But,
Uh-oh.
you got to look at people don't even check their brakes. They don't even check their brakes. They ride around worrying about a car tire, but they ride around with wore out brakes. My
Yep.
ears squeak.
Yep.
And still won't go in. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man. Everybody just stuck in the mud about that car tire.
Oh, Dustin Water says my fault that Cardo is out of stock. I appreciate that,
man,
Dustin.
but,
Dustin, that's
we
great.
don't get on off here.
Okay, Teaspoon.
We just wanted to give a shout out to Caliente World and the Gold Wing Riders.
Okay.
Let them know Teaspoon love them, capital TSP, baby. We out here trying to make a buck with this truck. And we out of here, Chris.
Okay, we'll see you, Teaspoon.
All right, man, later.
All right, later. We appreciate that was Teaspoon calling in, giving his 2 cents, and I appreciate Teaspoon, fellow Caliente Goldwing rider. If any of you guys are watching this video cast, the phone line is wide open. You're next. 901-468-9032, and you can be on with your boy Caliente. You may have something you want to say that you always wanted to say. Now is the opportunity. Now is the opportunity. The phone line is wide open. 901-468-9032 is the phone line. Live on the Caliente. But back to who shot Ghost. They said Tyreek shot Ghost. Man, I missed that episode. I can't believe I missed it, man. I've been looking for it on YouTube, and I see people coming, but I hadn't watched it. I want to actually watch the episode. Who shot Ghost? So I appreciate all of you guys tuning in. You're on live with Caliente. We're talking about Wingding. Is that a bad time for you? Do you plan on going? We're talking about dark siding. Are you against it? We're talking about where is Greg Patterson, the anti-dark sider. The phone line is wide open, 901-468-9032. I know a lot of you guys have been tuning in. Some of you guys tune in just to copy me. Oop, did I say that? I shouldn't have said that, huh? Yeah. You got some Caliente knockoffs out there. When y'all see them, call them out. You guys see them. But we're not going to go there, though. I'm going to leave that one alone. Caliente knockoffs. If Chris do it, I'm going to do it. Man, I better quit. Dustin Waters is on. I hear you, Jason. What's going on, Jason? Jason said his car tire is causing him to wear out his bike because he can't stay off of it. I hear that Jason say you can't stay off of it, huh? Yeah, I know Jason ride, man. Jason passed me on miles, so I know Jason rides. Now, Lee Watson said his Dunlap tires only lasted 3,400 miles. That is utterly ridiculous. If you buy a new set of tires, and here's another thing about motorcycle tires. If you put on a brand, they don't come with road hazards, so you can't buy road hazards with your tires. But if you put a brand new set of motorcycle tires on your bike and you pull out the dealership or the motorcycle shop where you had them put on, if you ride up 1 mile around the corner and pick up a nail, they're not going to patch that tire. They're not going to plug it. Their solution is you need to buy a new tire. Isn't that crazy? They won't even patch it, patch it. It's a disposable tire. But at least with a car tire, they will plug it. They will patch it. And it can be done safely. So I just want to put that out there for some of you anti-darksiders that totally disagree with darkside. And I like to see what happens when you pick up a nail on that motorcycle tire. You're going to have to buy a whole new tire. So basically you're riding around on expensive disposable motorcycle tires. But with a car tire, steel belted car tire, you just plug it or put a patch on and keep on riding. So I just want to put that out there. Yvette, ding, ding, ding. Marvin said, oh my Lord. Howard Moses is watching. Ron Bell from Illinois is watching. Okay, I was just reading this comment. I can't even pronounce his name. Adula? Okay. And Adula says that the maximum weight capacity on a 2018 Honda Goldwing is 423 pounds. So that means that's the maximum weight you can put on that Goldwing. So we're going to go live to the Caliente line. Go ahead, caller, you're on live with Caliente. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris, it's Dustin. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, Dustin?
Oh, not too much. Just stuffing my face with beans and cornbread. But you got me interested, so I had to set it down for just a minute. I'm in between bowls. I'm gonna get another bowl of beans in a minute. But
okay, I know you're from the South. You eating cornbread and you eating cornbread and beans. I know you're from the South.
I mean, you got that's the only thing that goes with beans is cornbread. You gotta have it.
Where you from, Dustin? I'm sorry. Where you from?
Brandon, right outside Jackson.
You from Mississippi?
Well, I'm from Texas. I'm a natural born Texan.
Okay.
But I've been living in Mississippi about 10 years now.
Okay. That's why you eating cornbread and beans.
Oh yeah.
I grew up.
I've been eating that a long time. My grandma. As a matter of fact, I cooked them tonight in an aluminum pot that my grandma had. This thing is probably older than I am. I know when I was a little kid, she used to always make that, and now I wound up with it. So I keep it up. I always cook beans in that pot. My kids love it. I love it, and it makes them taste better because it's had so many beans cooked in it. It's got enough to feed an army. It's been through that pot.
Yeah, I grew up on beans and cornbread and buttermilk and cornbread, but we're not going to get into that. What's going on, Dustin? Anything you like to say to your boy Caliente? Something was on your mind.
I've been riding car tires for quite some time now. I had one on my GL 1500.
Okay.
Ostone taxi tire, and I put, I don't know, maybe 60,000 miles, and I actually put two on it. I had one on it, wore that one out, and then put another one on. I had one on my Kawasaki ZG1000 Concourse. I had one on it.
Okay.
Rode that. I think I had almost 28,000 on it before I, had to put that bike out of its misery. It went down.
Right.
Truck. But
right.
No, that one, I ran over a 3/8 inch bolt.
Okay.
It was about 2.5 inches long on the back tire.
Okay.
Rode it home. Didn't know I hit it. Got up the next morning. Of course, the tire was flat, and I didn't have time, so I had to take the truck to work.
Right.
But when I got home, I lifted it up, found out what it was, pulled the bolt out. I couldn't believe how big the bolt was first. I was like, man, this is crazy. But
right.
It rode home just fine. So I rode probably 15 miles. I know when I hit it because I felt the bike wiggle. Sometimes you hit a rock or something, you feel it kind of give a little wiggle to it.
Right.
Well, that's what it did, but it wasn't a rock. It was a bolt. I'm thinking, if I'd have been on a motorcycle tire and I'd had a bolt that size going there, it probably would have took the tire out. I'd have been done. It would have come apart, and I would have been stranded on the side of the road. So there's one good thing about a car tire. The beads and the way it's constructed, I think it's much sturdier and it holds up better than a motorcycle tire does.
And I know it does.
Also, when I pulled that bolt out, I took the tire off, put a patch on the inside, and I still put another 20,000 miles on that tire. I rode it from here all the way up to Nova Scotia to Oak Island, across Canada, and back down with just a patch on the inside, and it held up fine, no problem.
Wow. That's after you put a patch on it.
Yeah, I just put a patch on the inside. I didn't do the plug. Tire plugs, I don't feel like seal was good, but I patched it on the inside. It cost me $8 to patch it. Done, put it right back on, and kept on riding. Got another 20,000 miles out of it.
So when you're...
I got one on my GR 1800 right now. I put one on it when I bought it, and I've got 18,000 miles on that tire, and it's still perfect. It ain't got no problems at all. I ain't had a stitch of trouble out of it.
Yeah.
Now, the motorcycle tires I had before, the reason I went car tire, I ride a lot of miles every year. So you mentioned this before. I think when you did your video with people how they're riding, that it's not for everybody. Somebody who rides 10,000 miles a year,
right.
You don't really need to go car tire. It doesn't. You don't get a lot of benefit from it.
Right.
It's always good. I think it'd be good, but you don't necessarily need to. But somebody like me that rides 20 to 30,000 miles a year or more, I was changing tires every few months, and that got old, especially on a GL 1500. That got old real fast because you had to pull the saddlebags and all kind of stuff off.
Right.
So I went to that. But I noticed on the motorcycle tires, you don't remember when you were kids riding on your bicycle and you slam the brakes and you let a big old long skid mark and you wind up with one flat spot on your tire where you skid all the time.
Right.
I don't understand why motorcycle tires do the same thing. You wind up with just patches. So to me, it's like they aren't made with the same standard of quality that car tires are. They're made, I don't want to say really haphazardly, but the touring motorcycle tires that we get that fits our bikes, I don't think they really care. They don't put a whole lot of effort into the way they're made because the rubber is not consistent all the way around the tire. It seems like if you were going to have a bald spot, it'd be a bald strip all the way around, not just in one spot go, the cords all of a sudden start showing in like a 2-inch section and the rest of the tire is completely fine. It made no sense to me. I know I wasn't sliding a motorcycle around like that, but
yeah, and that's I'm glad you brought that up, Dustin, because I used to have a crotch rocket, and I can remember one time I had to make an emergency stop, and I hit the brake, and I promise you the bike must have slid over 100 feet. And it was as if I wasn't even on the brakes. I mean, the bike you ever threw a rock across the water and watched it skip?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what my bike did. It basically just slid across the pavement like nothing. That's why I would not ride a crotch rocket. Those motorcycle tires, and I'm like you, I don't want to say they're made of cheap material because I don't know what they actually put into making tires. But I will say that the compound is soft. It doesn't hold up. It doesn't last. And like you said, you get flat spots on the tires. They don't grip the road. So when you hit the brake in an emergency situation, that bike is going to slide because it's just not a lot of rubber. I mean, it's going to stop better with a heavier bike like a Goldwing. But generally on a lighter bike, it'll just slide. And I experienced that myself. But here's one question that no one ever asks. The naysayers. I have a question for the naysayers. The dark side naysayers. Why is it that motorcycle tire companies will tell you not to run a car tire on the bike, but they don't make a motorcycle tire that lasts as long as a car tire? If it's all about safety, if their whole reason behind telling you not to do this is for safety reasons, then why don't they make a motorcycle tire to last as long as a car tire? No one ever asked that question. You can back the motorcycle companies, the tire manufacturers up by saying they don't recommend it. And you can give me all these diagrams and tell me about the bead lock and the tire won't seal and all of that good stuff. But my question is, why don't the tire manufacturers of motorcycles make a motorcycle tire last as long as a car tire?
I think a lot of that's the engineering of a motorcycle tire. The limits, it's not going to let you design one like they do a car tire. Now, a better question is, why don't they just take a car tire and put a motorcycle bead on it and then put that on the touring bikes? Because obviously it works just fine, and there's no problem. And that would eliminate all the safety issues that everybody talks about. Maybe make the sidewalls, like the run flat, which is a little stiffer, which I don't run a run flat on mine. I don't have it. I didn't really see the need for it.
Right.
Like I said, when I ran over the bolt, it stayed aired up. I had the dyno beads in there when I was in Nova Scotia, and I stopped to put air in, and one of them got stuck in the valve stem of the tire, and it started going flat on me. But I still was able to ride to the next place where I could pull that out and fix it. But I've never had a problem with it. The motorcycle tires aren't run flat. I don't think the stiffness. I've never felt a problem with the sidewall or anything where it's not stiff enough, because the tire is rated for like 700 pounds, something like that, and the car tire is 1,400 something pounds or whatever it is.
Right.
I think it's strong enough the way it is. I don't really think the sidewall flex, and I don't buy in all the reasoning and the science and everything that come up behind it. I go with the feel of it behind my butt. What my butt tells me, and I can feel it. It feels fine, just like it is. But to your point, though, with why don't they make a tire that lasts as long as a car tire? Well, you got to think about we think a lot of people ride motorcycles, but when you look at how many motorcycles are versus cars, and there's 4 tires on every car, they're making tons of money on car tires. They got so many out there. There's plenty of money in that.
Right.
Motorcycle tires for most people, motorcycle riders, Harley riders, everybody else out there, it's a hobby. It's not a full-time transportation. So there's not a high demand for the tires. You're going to pay what they're going. That's why they're so much more expensive, too. One, they don't sell as many, so they got to recoup their money on it somehow. And there wouldn't be a lot of incentive to make a 30 or 40,000 mile tire that lasts 6 years for some people, because then they're never going to sell tires. So they're going to put all that R&D into it, research, and make one that really lasts that long. They're not going to be selling very many tires. So it's really not in their benefit to do that. That's not to say they're making something bad, but what they have works. It works for most people, and it lasts long enough, and it does the job it's supposed to do. I just don't think it does it as well for everybody, like myself, who rides a lot. I need something that's going to last longer, hold up for more when I pull a trailer, when I got a passenger on there. I need something that's going to be able to hold up to my bike. And you're right, I don't know why the motorcycle manufacturers that order these tires for their bikes, why they don't demand something a little bit better for their customer. I'm sure there's all the legal and liability on stuff for certain people gonna come out there and they're gonna try and sue you because the color red wasn't the right color on the bike or something that caused an accident. There's always gonna be somebody out there trying to get away with something like that.
Yeah.
But I believe it's all has to do with volume and price and making money. They're not gonna try and there's no incentive for them to make a tire that's going to last so much longer when everybody's going to buy the tires right now because you ain't got no choice other than put a car tire on it. And so they put all this information out there. But you put the car tire on, it's instant death and flames, and your legs are going to fall off, and the bike's going to explode, and everything else that they come up with of all the science and reasons behind it. But, like Teaspoon said earlier, I ain't seen a single person crash because of a car tire. I've seen several people crash because of a motorcycle tire. Out on the ride, I know one guy, Terry Cooper, a friend of mine, we went to a meet and greet, and tire looked fine, but on his way home, it just lost all its air, boom, went down, and the bike went down, and he crashed because it wore through the threads. It looked fine because it looked great. The tire looked just fine, but 300 miles later, it's gone. It's done.
It was a motorcycle tire that did that, or a car tire?
Yeah, it's a motorcycle tire.
Motorcycle tire, yeah.
And he went car tire for that. He's never going back. He said, that's for his own safety reasons. He ain't never going to do it. He'll never ride on a motorcycle tire on the back again.
Yeah, and that's what happened to Slappy. He was riding with a passenger coming back from out of town, and he had a blowout on the back. He had a motorcycle tire. So after that, he put a car tire on there. He said he'll never run another motorcycle tire again. And it kind of goes back to what you said. I believe it just come down to the cost. That's the biggest thing. It's the cost. If they made a motorcycle tire that was going to last as long as a car tire, it would cost more money. So it's more cost effective for them to sell cheaper tires that they know that the average person only rides during a certain part of the year, and they put it up during the wintertime. They're not actually commuting. They're not riding year round. They're not using it for major transportation. It's a luxury item. And if cars had to have tires replaced as much as a motorcycle, it could throw a family into bankruptcy, because they couldn't afford to buy 4 tires every 12,000 miles. That's not even ideal. So the cheapest car tire, absolute cheapest car tire you can ever find would probably give you 30,000 miles out of it. That's the absolute cheapest. But what people really don't understand is that the absolute cheapest car tire is better than the best motorcycle tire.
Yep, I believe it, and it is. Now, I will say this. You mentioned sport bikes earlier. Now, there's a segment of the performance motorcycle tires that are well worth their money. They
Right.
spend a lot of money in researching these ones for the racing, and like the Isle of Man and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
You know, them tires that are doing 180 miles an hour. You know, they're not going to last long, but they're going to work extremely well. They're going to grip extremely well. They're going to put all kind of research in that because they know you're going to have that tire on there for 1 or 2 races, you know, at best, and then you're going to change that and get a new one. So they'll spend all the money they need to make sure that tire does exactly what it's supposed to do.
Right.
So I think you get your money's worth for race tires. You know, like they're saying, those people that don't have no chicken strips at all on there and half the side of their bike is gone, they got to wear knee pucks.
Right.
Yeah, go get you the right kind of tire, definitely, because you need that performance for it.
Right.
But for touring, riding to a pulling a trailer, you can't beat a car tire.
Right.
You just can't.
Right.
I don't care what they say or you know how much instant death is involved with it.
Right.
It works for me, and it's been working for about 6-7 years now, and probably 100 and some odd thousand miles between the 3 bikes I've had it on. Got no problem with it. You're never going to convince me that it's a bad thing to do.
Right. And I've been kind of waiting on maybe a couple of anti-Darksiders to call in, maybe one. I was kind of hoping I would get a chance to talk to Greg Patterson. You know, he's one of the guys in our group, and he's the biggest, he's probably the most outspoken person that's against Darkside that I've seen in the group that, you know, that catches my attention. There may be a couple more in there, but Greg Patterson is one of the names that I can just think of off the top of my head. I would like to talk to him. So Greg Patterson, if you're watching this live video cast, feel free to call in. If you're against Darksiding, feel free to call in. If you want to have a debate, call in. My number is live, 901-468-9032. We're talking about Darksiding. We're talking about Wingding, Who Shot Ghost. If you got anything you would like to say or add to this video cast before we end it, the phone line is wide open, 901-468-9032. Now is the opportunity to say what's on your mind. Live with Caliente.
Well, Chris, to get back to the more important thing here, I got another slice of cornbread, a little bit more beans. So
Okay.
I'm gonna get back to that, and I'm gonna let somebody else call in while I stuff my face and watch.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you there, Dustin.
You bet. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you. Tell your lovely wife hi.
You bet.
Okay. Thank you, Dustin. That was Dustin from down there in Mississippi eating beans and cornbread. I grew up on beans and cornbread. I love it, man. You can only get some of that stuff here in the South. I'm sure you can eat it in any part of the country, but you know, beans and cornbread is a delicacy down here in the South, man. I grew up on that buttermilk and cornbread and all that good stuff. But anyway, yeah, if any of you guys that are watching this live video cast and you are opposed to Darksiding, the phone line is wide open. Now is your opportunity to call in. We can even debate. We can have a healthy debate. We can agree to disagree. If any of you guys watching this video cast is against Darksiding, like I said, I'm hearing that at Wingding this year in Springfield, Missouri, that Dunlap will be bringing in a representative and talking to you guys about tire safety, talking to you guys about why you shouldn't run car tires and the dangers. Ooh, the dangers of running a car tire on your Gold Wing, why you shouldn't do it. And none of them, I promise you, have any experience. And I'll ride against one of those guys any day of the week. We can ride across country, whatever. We can do that. But if any of you guys are watching this broadcast and you want to call in, now is the time, 901-468-9032. I'm going to take one more caller before I end this live broadcast. The phone line is wide open. Now is your opportunity. So a lot of you guys are watching. Jesse Duran is watching. David Upshur is watching. Gregory Benjamin is watching. Tommy Pettyway is watching. Fred Brooks. William Hopgood is watching. William Hopgood says, I'm not against Darksiding, but I am against cheap tires. I'm with you on that, William. I'm with you on that. Like I said, some of you guys, you don't even need the dark side. But if you're going to put some tires on your bike, they need to be some good tires. Don't just put cheap tires on your bike to save a buck. So if any of you guys would like to comment on anything that I've said tonight, I'm going to take one more caller You could be an anti-dark sider. You can be a Caliente rider. You can be a Caliente fan. Or you could be a Caliente knockoff. There's some Caliente knockoffs out there, y'all. But the phone line is open. Now is your opportunity. We're gonna take one more caller, and I'm gonna shut this thing down. What's going on? Alan Ernest is watching. Trying to give you guys an opportunity to interact with your boy Chris in the Caliente Garage. I haven't been making many videos here lately. Just been watching YouTube. A lot of dark side videos are out there now, and I've been watching some dark side videos. Just listening to what people have to say. You know, like I predicted that by 2030, you know, everybody gonna be riding on a guard tire, and that's just one of my predictions. But we'll see. But it looks like a lot of bikers are headed in that direction. So you guys are on live with Caliente in the Caliente Garage. One of the questions that I asked earlier is, why buy a $30,000 motorcycle or $20,000 motorcycle and you're not even going to ride it? What's the point? Why would you buy an expensive motorcycle and you're not going to ride it? You leave it in the garage doing the mannequin challenge. You might as well sell the bike. Let somebody else put it to good use. We're going to give it about one more minute, and we're going to end this live video cast with Caliente. If any of you guys have the episode of Power, you saved it, send it to me. I want to watch it. I hadn't seen it yet. I know it's going to come out one day, but I want to see the episode. I want to know who shot Ghost. I saw somebody put up the comment that Tyreek shot Ghost, so I didn't see it. I want to watch the episode. So if any of you guys have it, you saved it. If you can email it to me at chriscaliente@yahoo.com. I will include a link down in the description below. If any of you guys would like to email me, send pictures of your bike, you want to reach out to me, you can email me at chriscaliente@yahoo.com. And we got about 30 more seconds and we're going to end this. I got time for one more caller. 901-468-9032. You on with Caliente Live. Sylvester Middleton is watching. William Hopgood is watching. Excuse me. Throat been a little scratchy. Mama made me some of her homemade tea. Howard Moses is watching. He says, have a good night, Chris. And Dustin says he still don't know who shot JR. Man. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video cast. I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching your boy Chris out here in the Caliente Garage. I just like to thank all you guys. Be sure to tune in to the YouTube channel. You know, YouTube is where it started. We do like Facebook. I like Facebook, but YouTube is where it started. Continue to support me on YouTube. 10,000 subscribers and 500 views don't add up. So continue to support your boy Chris. Continue to watch my YouTube channel. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Well, anyway, if you guys have any questions or any comments, feel free to put it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't already, be sure to sign up for the Chris Caliente Gold Wing group, the hottest Facebook group in the land. Well, anyway, this is your boy Chris out in the Caliente Garage, And I'm going to be ending this video. And I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.
They say this is a big rich town.